Right, so we're recording. I am going to turn this block into a house. And I'm going to make a house like just a very simple house with a peaked roof. Now, the peaked roof is going to be at the very center. I can kind of guess, but I want to be exact. The only thing is, this block is in perspective. So that means that over here, things look a little bit longer than they are here. Because anything going towards the vanishing point looks a bit smaller. Like we already saw, this side of the house or of this block is exactly the same as this side of the house. So what I cannot do is measure this line, which is 9 centimeters divided by 2, and there you go, that would be 4.5. That's not the way. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use a bit of a trick. Namely, I'm going to draw a cross on the side of the block. One point connected to the opposing point, and where they cross, that is the center. You have a question? No, you cannot. Right, so this is the center. What I can do now is I can trace or I can draw a line up vertically, and then I can decide where I want the peak of my roof. So, I draw a vertical line upward. I can go all the way up here. Doesn't really matter. I can make a very steep peaked roof. Anywhere along this line, I can decide where I want the top of my peak roof. I can make it quite shallow. The angles will be something like this, or I can make it very high, up like that. I'll pick a point where I think that'll look nice. So, from the side of my building, I'll draw a line to the top. And from the side over here, again, pencil down first. Make sure you're on the correct point, and there you go. Now I have the facade of my building. Yeah. I don't have the rest just yet. The top of my building, the top of the roof, that is pretty easy. That is pretty much a line leading up to the vanishing point. Again, I'm not drawing all the way up to the vanishing point, but somewhere here I have to put an end to the house, right? That's where the roof stops. So what I can do, I can make a line that is almost parallel to this line. I'm going to include it very lightly, like so. That'll look okay, but it might not be completely correct. What I need for the correct line is the back of the house. The only problem is I cannot see the back of the house, but I know it's there. It's not like a house doesn't have a back. Same with this house. So I'm going to draw the part of the house that you really cannot see in it. That means that I have to include this line, which gives me the floor, which I also cannot see, and gives me the back of the back wall, which I also cannot see. Paul, I will answer your question in a moment. There we go. Now this is the wall that I can't see. Then I can do the same trick, namely make a cross section. One point to the next, and from this middle I can draw a line up. I'm checking if the line meets up over there. Now this is where the two lines cross. So that means the back line looks a little bit parallel, but in fact it isn't. Now I have included a lot of guidelines that I don't need in the end. The whole back of the building I probably don't need. But I could perhaps add in a couple of big windows to let some light into the room. And perhaps you could see the floor and the back wall just a tiny bit. So moving on to the floor and to the doors. Say I want to add in a wall and a door on this side. That means that I have to decide how tall a person is. Say my door is about this big. Could be a lot bigger. It could go all the way up to the edge right there. So this is one side of the door. Again, I'm going to connect it, the top of the door, to the vanishing point. And then from here, draw a line down. It looks a bit weird. This one looks better. Let's redo it a little bit. There we go. Now I have a door at the side of the building. Now I want a window next to the door. But the window is going to be, the top of the window is going to be exactly the same height as the door. That looks well designed most of the time. So what I'm going to do is extend this line, which is the top of the door, to the vanishing point. Again, put my pencil on the vanishing point, adjust my ruler so it hits the top of the door, and extend that line a little bit. A little bit difficult to see, so I'm going to make that line a little bit darker where I want my window. About there. That's going to be the top of my window. So from the top of my window, I'm going to work my way down. So I'm finding one line, and that line leads me to another, and so forth. So this is the side of my window. Lines are on the horizon. That way I know I'm making a vertical line. Just a little bit. It's a big window, lots of light. And the other line is about there. Bottom of the window, about there. So here I have that back wall is now all of a sudden visible. So I know it's there, and the only part where I can see it is where I can see through the window. Here I'm still at the wall, but over here I can see a little bit of the floor, which is this, and there is a bit of the wall over here. Same with the door. When the door is open, I can see a little bit of the wall on this side and a little bit of the floor over here. Good. So we have our doors and windows. Normally, typically, doors and windows are used by humans. Yeah, it's for us to go in and out of the building. So if I know that this door is in this house, then probably a person walking in and out is going to fit through it. Amazing. So anyway, say one person, this is his head, and these are his shoulders. See that the shoulders are pointing to the vanishing point as well. There we go. So this person right here, if it's going on a journey and it's going around the bend to this house, it won't shrink, but it'll look a little bit smaller. So that means if I want to add in a door on this side of the building and this guy entering through the door, I can do a couple of steps. I can mark the height of the door at the side of my building, which is right there. I'm just going to hold my pencil right there. And now I can draw the height of all the doors and all the windows on all the other blocks that I have on the same height. So this can be the door on this block. The height of all the windows here is the same. The windows on this side will all be of the same size as well. So that means that on the bottom, I can draw a line from the top to the bottom. I can end these windows like so. So what I want you to do now is pick the height of the doors and transfer it onto another block. So that means that you have to go to the corner first and from the corner to the other block. See what I did here? The height of the door right here, I mark that on the side of the block while holding my pencil. I went to the other block and transferred the height of the door onto these other blocks. Right, so this house, I want to make this house out of bricks. I'm going to use the side of this house and as a reference. As you can see, maybe you can't see, maybe it's difficult to see, but I have put in little marks on one side of the house. I made sure that these marks are about 5 millimeters apart. I could have taken 7 or 8 or a centimeter, it doesn't really matter. But as long as it's the same throughout this side. What I can do now is I can draw the lines toward the vanishing point. So this side of the building is going to be covered in bricks. That is a bit of a tedious job because I need to check my pencil, I need to make sure that it's on the vanishing point. Like so. And you can see that all these lines seem to fan out a little bit. They seem to get smaller. You should be working on transferring the door to the other block, but I am showing this to you because we do need to work with this. There we go. I've marked the height of the bricks, but these bricks continue over here. The only thing is, I cannot add in... Right, let's finish this. I'm going to extend the side of the building. Now, this is the part of the building that I have on my building, but I can kind of virtually extend this. I'm adding in a guideline, and I'm adding my 5 millimeter marks on that virtual line. All the way to the top. I'm not going to start these bricks on this side, but I am going to use the virtual side. I'm not going to start here, but I'm going to start in between the lines that make up the roof. So this is the part where I start, but this is the place where I start drawing. So I'm just using that guideline so I know where to start. There we go. And in this fashion I can add in my bricks. Now if I have bricks that alternate, then I can say, you know what, this brick, it skips one, and in between every other line I can draw a tiny little line indicating that there's a brick. This line is going to be in between the other two lines. There we go.